I believe that as a business owner, I do not live in the dream world, and I know that what is actually possible. So I would suggest that we can actually be part of a quicker growth process. However, I realize there are challenges to that, so I would say that we have a good growth process, but we could improve that as well.
Once again, I would tout the process that we've put in place with our planning department. With respect to the planning department, once again, we've asked them to get consensus from the community with regard to the new comprehensive plan and what it puts out in terms of the patterns of growth for the city over the next 30 years. That pattern of growth is subject, first of all, to advice from a community group that we put in place, working together with the Planning Commission, and the people of this city will have the final decision with regard to the new plan and how it will operate.
Jane, your next question begins with Mayor Byker.
With some speculating that we could see $4 gas in the near future, what should the city's role be in providing public transportation?
Jane, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of your question.
Gas prices going up, possibly $4. What should the city's role be in providing public transportation, efficiencies, improvements, whatever?
Well, the role of the city in providing public transportation is one, we need to provide public transportation. It's a matter of economic development. There are many, many people who use public transportation to get to work. The public transportation system in a city like Lincoln, which is lacking in density, tends to be a more expensive system. That's why you have to look at all parts of government and what's happening and make decisions in an interrelated fashion. For example, the comprehensive plan, as well as providing for adequate growth on the outside of the city in several different areas, also calls for more intense development of areas within the city. If you have more density within the city, it cuts down on the subsidization of public transportation, for one thing. So all of these things work together, and we're trying to draw in all of the elements to work for a solution that recognizes the balances that have to be recognized.
What the mayor is referring to is sustainable development. Sustainable development is one thing that I'm not sure that we as a city want to make. I think we want to really look at that because that is something that would be allowing us to stack ourselves on top of each other, which I believe may be contributory to other problems. However, with $4 gas probably on the horizon, depending on what happens with the gas industry and the oil industry, cap and trade, I believe that we need to take a hard look at our current transportation system, whether that would be with the bus system. We need to take a look at whether that bus system is sustainable, and do we need to change that bus system. Also, we have a ton of bike trails, but that doesn't work very well when it's 10 below outside. So I believe that we need to really take a look at that as a city and see what kind of intercity things that we can do on that. Thank you.
We've had 2 studies of the bus system already since I've been in office, and a 3rd one is pending. People keep wanting us to look hard at the public transportation system, and we keep doing it because it is a heavily subsidized system. So that process is there and will continue. We responded, for example, most recently to Councilman Horning's suggestion that we study certain aspects of the bus system. And we put LIBA members, for example, on the bus advisory board. We're trying to work with the entire community and draw out any and every good idea about how to make that public transportation system better.
No rebuttal.
You know, one of our main goals here today is to get you all out of here at 1 o'clock, and we're getting close to that. I want to give each candidate a minute and a half of closing remarks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have John answer one more question. I'm going to ask my referee timekeeper here to to give the candidates 1 minute, okay? 1 minute response. Last question from John.
The issue of immigration reform certainly has raised its head here in the state of Nebraska. Fremont, the ordinance that they passed, lawsuits. How big of an issue is immigration reform, illegal immigration in Lincoln, and do you believe it should strictly be left up to the federal government?
Absolutely not. Illegal immigration costs Nebraskans well over $314 million a year. I think that it's important for us to make sure that our police have the appropriate tools to allow for those particular people who are illegal, and the term illegal is what is in question here. Those folks who are here because they are refugees, or those who are here because of any of the other services that we have, I believe they need to be served and served well. However, we would like to look at some additional initiatives that are very positive with community weaving.
I believe that for the city, the question of illegal immigration is a distraction. We have so many things to work on and so many things to focus on. Illegal immigration is not a problem here in Lincoln. What we need to focus on are our problems. I do believe that it's a federal issue primarily. I'm angry with the federal government because they haven't come to grips with this problem. The rule of law is important and it needs to be addressed. And the federal government is the one that needs to address it, because we can't have communities all over this nation doing different things with regard to a question of labor. And so I want to continue to focus on the kinds of problems that I focused on for the last 4 years, and continue to do work on those problems and not be distracted by things I cannot resolve here locally.
All right, that's the end of our questions for the debate today. It is time now for the 1.5-minute closing statements, and we will be going. And Mayor, you get to go first.
All right, well, let me just say in closing quickly that Lincoln has had, I think, many, many successes in these last 4 years. We've been nationally recognized time and time again for having a very positive, business-oriented atmosphere here now. We've been recognized as having the lowest unemployment rate in the country in a time of severe recession. Our bond ratings are AAA in both, rated by both rating agencies. The fiscal position of the city is absolutely solid. We've cut back on the 2-to-1 match. We're working on our short-term budget problems. The crime rate is down 21% from the time I took office. By virtually every measure, Lincoln is at the top of its game these days. But what I'm most proud of, I think, is the way that Lincoln has come together as a community. We've accomplished the vital West Haymarket project. I was deeply moved by the community coming together for the Special Olympics. We've shown the nation that we can take on big projects and important projects. It was a great success. I think it shows us that all of our greatest challenges can simply become another opportunity for great achievement. Lincoln's success is not about the mayor, it's about all of us. And for the 4th or 5th time today, I tell you that working together and building consensus, as LIBA has done, as the Chamber has done, as the city government has done, is the most important thing to continue to move this city forward.
I am not a career politician. I am a business owner, and I have an ability to lead. There is not one of us who likes to be in debt. Our city is getting close to $1 billion in unfunded and other debts. I think that it's important that we get a handle on it and get a handle on it quickly. I don't have any ties to the unions, nor public, private, or any other. But as a business owner, in the last 8 years, I have had to pay my bills, I've had to pay my employees on time, and actually keep my position under budget as well. I think that we have, as a community, some We have a great constituency of people who love to work. Our 3.5 unemployment proves that. Some of us may have 2 or 3 jobs, but we are working those jobs. I appreciate the Lincolnites. I've appreciated Mayor Beitler, and I just thank you for having me here today. I ask that you would continue to consider voting for